What the business, YouTube, episode 60. My name's Jay Florida, and today's career of discussion is a photographer. So, what is a photographer? A photographer is a person who captures images using a camera. Now, to give you a piece of history, photographers have been around for nearly 200 years. The world's first successful permanent photograph was captured in 1826 by French inventor Joseph Nicephore Niepce. Commercial photography took off in 1839 with the invention of the daguerreotype, allowing professionals to open portrait studios. A few basic requirements to becoming a photographer include mastering fundamentals such as aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, securing an apprenticeship, going as far as learning how to edit, making you a two-in-one combo, building a portfolio with your best work, marketing your business through platforms such as Squarespace, Wix, or general social media, and of course, a camera. Now, becoming an established photographer can take you anywhere from 6 months to 3 years and cost you anywhere from $750 to $15,000 when considering equipment. As far as your range as an entry-level photographer, you can expect to make $25,000 to $45,000, with a few things affecting how much you take home being your niche, such as real estate or wedding photography, editing skills, employment such as freelance or salary, specialized skills in lighting, drone operation, or underwater photography, and reputation. A day in life as a photographer can be described as timekeeping, creative freedom, client consultation, irregular hours and shooting times, as well as promotion. And as far as opportunity, anyone can purchase a camera and become a photographer if they decided to do so, without any particular barriers being in the way. And for that reason, the photographer scores green for opportunity. A few examples to take note of in this field include Dorothea Lange, a definitive documentary photographer whose powerful images during the Great Depression, such as the migrant mother photo, humanized historical hardships. Next, we have Ansel Adams, famous for his breathtaking black and white landscape photography of the American West, and a pioneer in nature photography. And last but not least, we have Camera Boy Roy, a South Florida-based photographer who specializes in lifestyle photography. Moving on to our fact moment segment of this episode, starting off with fact number 1. It took NASA about 3 years to build a high-rise camera used for planetary exploration. Fact number 2. Canon sells an estimated 8,000 to 10,000 cameras every single day, placing their market dominance at roughly 43 to 46% of the entire global camera industry. And fact number 3, during the filming of The Dark Knight Rises in Pittsburgh, a stunt double on a bat pod accidentally crashed into a $500,000 IMAX camera rig, destroying the 1 of 5 camera completely. Now, for our last segment, before we move on to the circle of influence, we have health risks and mitigation, starting off with musculoskeletal disorders as a result of lugging around camera gear and shooting in awkward positions, exhaustion and burnout as a result of extended image editing and client deadlines, exposure to extreme weather conditions, and PTSD to crime scene or war photographers. As far as mitigation, you should use ergonomic chairs and computer setups when editing to minimize musculoskeletal injuries. Prioritize time management and split your workload with a partner to stay ahead of deadlines. Utilize personal protective equipment such as wide-brimmed hats and raincoats, and staying on top of daily forecasts in case of rescheduling, and debriefing sessions, peer support groups, and psychological therapy to process trauma. Now that does it for our primary segment. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to my co-host for the Circle of Influence. What the business, YouTube? If you don't know, the Circle of Influence is a small compilation of statistics and ideas that may influence a person into or away from pursuing a certain career or position. Now, starting off the Circle of Influence, we have respect. Is this a career or position that brings me respect and dignity? Now, the photographer is responsible for so many wonderful things, such as immortalizing cherished memories and history, capturing evidence for processing, and making the unseen seen, such as the surface of the sun or a rare exotic animal. For that reason, the photographer scores green. Moving on, we have growth. Is this a career or position that presents me with the opportunity to grow from a $100,000 earning threshold? And for this segment, The photographer scores yellow, with sources online citing that the photographer has the potential to make as much as $300,000 in a single year. Next, we have gore. Is this a career or position that will have me dealing with an abundance of blood, violent action, grotesque imagery, or scenery? And for this segment, unless you are specifically in the industry of crime scene or war photography, the photographer scores green, as in no, you will not be dealing with any of the mentioned before. And for our last ideological standpoint, we have moral conflict. Is this a career or position that will have me compromise any of my foreseeable morals? Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't kill. The basic set of guidelines. And for this segment, the photographer also scores green. Now moving on to the statistical side of things, we have gender demographics, where men make up 38% of the industry and women make up 62% of the industry. Next, we have ethnic demographics, where Caucasians account for 66% of the industry, Hispanics make up 15% of the industry, and Asians make up 7% of the entire industry. And for our last standpoint, we have location demographics, top paying states, starting off with New Mexico, followed by California and Georgia, and closing things out with Rhode Island and Vermont. Now that does it for the circle of influence. I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor back to Florida. I'm back. Just to summarize the photographer, it is a well-respected career position for a number of reasons. That provides you with a comfortable amount of room to move around from a $100,000 earning threshold at an earning potential of up to $300,000 per year. It is a very easy career to start and a great way for someone to start networking. Not to mention, it is also a women's dominated field. So, ladies, make your coin. With that being said, it does look like we have a full episode today. The word of the day is milestone. Self-help resources on the board. As always, I'll leave it down in the description. And to show your support, if you want to see more of this content and better, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on episode 61.